Hey guys, Katie here. I am hopping on for an extra special announcement for all of you Go Read Sis listeners. First, I want to say thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. We love and appreciate you so much. And because of that, we would love to interact with you even more. So we are starting a Go Read Sis book club. So we're going to be picking out a book each month that Lexie and I are both going to read and invite you guys to read along with us. We are going to have a virtual chat that we'll be able to chat about the book in. For more information about the virtual book club chat, head to our Instagram page at goread.sis. But you don't necessarily have to be on the virtual chat in order to participate in the book club. The way we're going to do it is each month we're going to announce a book that's going to be our pick of the month. And then we're going to give it a month from then for everyone to read the book, and then that next episode is going to be a full spoiler review and discussion on the book that we picked for the month. All that being said, our March book club pick is going to be The Selection by Kira Cass. So this is a young adult dystopian novel. We're really excited about reading this book together for the month of March and to invite you guys to come along with us and read it as well. In early April, we will do a full spoiler review and discussion on this book. But don't worry, if you don't finish the book by then, you can always go back and watch the episode later. You can find this book wherever you normally would get your books. Let's go ahead and get into the episode. Welcome back to the Go Read Sis podcast. My name is Katie.
I'm Lexie.
And we are here on this fine Tuesday to talk to y'all about some book stuff. As per usual. Yeah. So as usual, we are going to start out with our scripture of the episode. So this scripture is in the Message version, and it comes from Philippians, and it's chapter 2, verses 1 through 4. It says, if you've gotten anything at all out of following Christ, if his love has made any difference in your life, if being a community of the Spirit means anything to you, if you have a heart, if you care, then do me a favor. Agree with each other, love each other, be deep-spirited friends. Don't push your way to the front. Don't sweet talk your way to the top. Put yourself aside and help others get ahead. Don't be obsessed with getting your own advantage. Forget yourselves long enough to lend a helping hand.
Love that one.
Yeah, I had never read that in the Message before, and I read it earlier today. We did this week in one of like the church things that I went to. They were talking about friendship and like just picking good friends and things like that. And so I have been like, that's just been on my heart. And so I was looking at verses to do with friendship, and that one came up in the Message version, and it was like ministering to me as I was like writing it to talk about it on the podcast. So
I love that. That's such a good one.
So good. I would love to know what you're currently reading.
Yeah, I am currently reading The Woman by Kirsten Hanna. As is like most of book talk, I feel like right now.
Yeah.
But it's so well deserved. It's so good. I'm like maybe 150 pages in. Like I'm pretty new into the book. I haven't gotten super far, but it has been so emotional.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a really tough read, but like in a really good way.
Yeah.
And it's really unique because obviously it's about, well, maybe not obviously, but it's about women nurses in the Vietnam War.
I had no idea that was what it was about until you said that.
Fair enough. Okay, so not obviously. And I think she does it in a really like beautiful and respectful way. So far, again, I'm not that far into it, but you follow one girl, Frankie, throughout her journey through signing up to be a nurse in the military, being deployed. I know at some point she goes home, and she kind of comes back to a world not recognizable.
Wow.
Because you think about like all the politics and stuff that gets involved during a war where people are being drafted and stuff, and it's supposed to be a pretty like powerful read, and I'm really excited to finish it.
Wow. That sounds really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
I didn't want to put it down to come pod, honestly.
But, I don't blame you.
Yeah, it's just one of those books like you just eat it up. And I've been annotating, but like not sophisticated annotating, like whatever thought comes to my brain annotating.
I love that though. That's so good.
Yeah. So that's my current read.
Wow, that's awesome. I'm listening to a book that's similar to that. It's called The Last Bookshop in London. It's a World War II historical fiction, so also war, but different war. And instead of following a nurse, it's following... I'm not even really sure why she was sent to London, but she's a ward, basically.
Okay.
And she needs a letter of recommendation in order to get a legitimate job. And she was sent without any letter of recommendation. And so she's like, I need to find someone who will hire me without a letter. And the woman who she goes to stay with, who like houses these other like young girls that are coming into the city, she's like, oh, I know like just the place. And she takes her to this super rundown, beat up bookstore that's owned by this cranky old man. And she's like, go in there, he knows you're coming, like tell him you're here, you know, for a job. And she goes in and the guy's like, I'm not looking for an assistant. Like, you can't have a job here. And she's like, oh.
Scary.
Okay. Basically, she ends up getting a job at this bookstore, and then
New take on Grumpy Sunshine.
No, he's like father figure. It's definitely not a romance, but there is a romance in it. There's like, it's kind of on the back burner, but it's really beautiful the way that it's written. And the story continues to follow the main girl as London kind of starts to get involved in World War II and
interesting
her story. And she like volunteers for one of the war efforts, and it talks about like her experience with that and the things that she sees and stuff. So it kind of takes a long time to get into the war part of it. It's a lot more about her story and her past and and like more about her relationship with the owner of the bookshop and with the woman who is like housing her. But it's really, really good. Like, I'm listening to it and I probably am 3/4 of the way through it, and it's looking like a potential 5-star. Yeah.
Wow. How are we both reading a historical fiction right now?
I know. I don't know how that happened.
I never read them. Historical fantasy, sure.
It's been a while since I've read a historical fiction.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that we're both reading it, liking it. Because the woman is probably a 5-star. Yeah, like not only are they historical fiction, but they're both war.
Yeah.
They both follow a girl.
Weird. Yeah, my other read, because I have like 4 right now, but I'm just going to talk about 2.
Well, let's hear them all. Why not?
Oh, okay. So my book that I'm reading physically is A Fire Endless, which is the second book in A River Enchanted, if you don't know. And I'm loving that. I'm about 100 pages in. And then on my... This is...
Oh, you're serious?
I'm dead serious. I'm reading so 4.
I don't know why it surprises me.
I still have Mistborn on the back burner because I have to wait for Justin. So that one is like, I'm going real slow. I'm on like chapter 4. But
that would drive me crazy.
It's okay.
You gotta do what you gotta do. I get it.
You gotta do what you gotta do. And then I'm also reading Magnolia Park's The Long Way Home.
You are? How do you feel about it so far?
I'm not far enough to know. However, I do really like it. So I'm like, dang, I thought I was going to go back into Magnolia Parks and be like bored because it's not Daisy Hates.
Yeah.
But BJ's working on himself. And I'm like,
oh my gosh, that makes me so excited.
I know.
Let me know.
There was a bookmarked episode. I forget when, but it was really funny. Like, not me talking about another podcast, but it's fine. Destiny like called out BJ for something on the podcast and like him not being the best. And Sarah like just complete sad face was like, he's working on himself.
That's so funny.
But honestly, so real. Like, the investment that we have into these characters is kind of insane.
Literally.
Kind of insane.
I know. Like, I think about them in my spare time sometimes.
No, same.
And I'm like, why?
Why?
I like talk to Ryan about it seriously. I'm like, Daisy did this. And he's like, who's Daisy? I'm like, Daisy hates. He was like, I don't know who that is. I'm like, a book character. So you should have started with that. You should just know.
Right, exactly. Oh my god.
Oh, poor Ryan.
Oh, so funny.
That is really funny.
Anyway, let's get into the meat and potatoes.
That's do I say that a lot?
Yeah,
I think I
you
say
do.
that like every time
You do.
the meat and potatoes of the episode.
Yeah, I'm just mimicking you. It's fine.
I love it, honestly.
So we're gonna talk about some book icks, things that give us the ick about books. So let's go like
Every other?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to start? What's your first?
Yeah, hang on. I gotta get to my list because I don't remember exactly.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
Take your time.
Oh, that's yours. Reads your book ick. Okay. My first book ick is a physical attribute, is when you get a paperback and it's freaking as stiff as a board and you have to okay, I don't like to crack my spines. If you don't care, all the power to you. It gives me the ick. Like, ick part 2. Crack spines, give me the ick. I literally am reading like these stiff books. Like, if you're watching, like, I'm gonna give you an example on how I read it, like this, because I'm scared to move the pages any further, and it hurts my wrist because you have to like put effort into not cracking the spine.
Oh my god.
I'm like, how long have people who've been publishing books don't make it as like hard as a cardboard?
True. Facts.
Yeah.
I feel like so many new books still are doing that too.
I know, and like. But then there are some books that are like so floppy, like it like makes my bones melt. Like, it's just, you know?
Is it something about like whether like how long it lasts? Like, I feel like stiffer books tend to stay longer. Do you know what I mean?
Stay what longer? Like,
I don't know.
like hold up?
Yeah.
I don't know, because I have a ton of floppy books that are fine.
If you work in publishing or know someone that works in publishing, let us know why stiff books
like
are
mass
a thing.
paperback, I get why those are stiff. They're so small and skinny. There's not enough like weight.
Right.
But like, no one else has an excuse. Unless there's a legit reason. There probably is. I just
Some
don't
of the like really thick books.
Yeah, but then like
floppy.
my floppy. I mean my what's it called? My copy of Silver Flames is like floppy as heck.
Really?
Yeah, like so
Crazy.
floppy. Like the back page almost goes straight.
And that book is like 800 pages long.
I don't know.
It's
Yeah,
big.
probably it's big. But then like, and my KOA is floppy. But those are like Bible pages. Like,
Yeah. Maybe that's why.
yeah,
Because the
but
pages are thinner, it makes it more
Silver
floppy.
Flames isn't.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't get it. I have just the stiff book icks, and I know I'm not alone. That's a
you're
very
definitely
common
not.
ick.
Yeah,
I just had to. We haven't talked about it on here yet. I don't think so.
No, I don't think
Just
so.
Talk about my passion, how much I hate it. Okay, sorry.
No, that's okay.
I stole the show for.
That's really fine. I'm gonna go out of order because mine. I have a physical one as well, which is permanent stickers. Tell me why we are printing books where the cover has a sticker as part of the cover design.
Like, why are you interrupting the cover that was designed for the book?
For real. Like, just
Yeah.
place a normal sticker on it.
Or don't do anything.
Or don't do anything. We don't need stickers.
I don't care that it's going to be a major motion picture.
Or that it's a Reese's book club.
That one gets me because it never matches the cover.
It's bad.
It's so bad. Yeah, that. Oh my god.
Permanent stickers are the worst. Or stickers that don't peel off.
Yeah, honestly, the Target ones are always like that.
It's so annoying.
I'm like, okay,
The
Target.
Barnes ones are good, usually.
Yes, usually. But why does Target need to put a sticker on every single one of their books?
I know, it's like, we know that you have it for 20% off of
It's
the
always
retail
20%
price.
off. We
Like,
get it.
it's fine.
Put a sign.
Yeah.
Signage. You remember the old days of signage? Yeah, that works.
Also, I feel like that would waste so much less paper if there was a sign
sure.
and not stickers on every single one of their
Like,
books.
I really be with like when I have a sticker like a hair dryer, isopropyl alcohol, like
my
trying to get the freaking
gosh.
residue off.
It's so bad.
So bad.
Anyway.
We're just gonna be so mad this whole episode because we're talking
about our icks.
Okay, next. I've talked about it a little bit on here, but a book ick for me is the pregnancy trope. I cannot do it. If it happens anywhere before the epilogue, it's a DNF for me.
Wow. Like immediately?
Almost.
Even if you're enjoying the book?
I won't be enjoying the book if there's a pregnancy ick. I mean,
a pregnancy ick.
A pregnancy trope. I cannot think of a single book where I've been enjoying it so much.
Didn't you like, I don't know. I didn't read the books. I watched the movies. But like, kind of spoiler for Twilight. Didn't you like Twilight?
Yeah, but that wasn't like a standalone. Like, I was invested in the series. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm talking like the romance,
okay,
where like that's part of the plot.
Okay.
Like, I feel like for a series where it's as long drawn as that, it feels like an epilogue.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Okay. So it's fine if it's a series, but it's not okay if it's a standalone.
It really, really depends.
Okay.
Because there has been series where like book 1,
yeah,
she's pregnant, and then the series is about them raising a kid. Maybe it's just the like phase of life I'm in. I don't want to read about that.
Valid. I can't say I've ever read a book still with a pregnancy trope, so I don't know if I'm with you on that or not. Valid. But I also feel like there's a lot of people that also hate pregnancy tropes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's some people that say like if you say pregnancy trope gives you the ick, you haven't read a good one yet, and maybe that is the case.
Oh, okay. I feel like people say that about everything.
That's true.
Though.
There's something for everyone, and that's just not for me.
That's so valid.
Yeah, maybe someday when I'm pregnant, that's all I want to read. I don't know.
Crazy.
Anyway, that's my number 2 ick.
My next one is whiny female main characters. Mm-hmm. When they literally have everything they could ever need or want, especially like the privileged.
Are we talking about Selena? Selena?
Absolutely talking about
Selena.
Yes.
Selena
Sardothien.
Pilot?
Not. Yeah, actually. Who I was really thinking of was Evangeline.
T.
She's so whiny.
She really is.
If you're
I love it.
familiar with Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, Evangeline from that series gave me the ick so many times for being so whiny. Like, girl, so what? This boy wanted to keep your love a secret, and you were surprised that he went off to marry somebody else? Chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's bad. That one gets on my nerves. Like, I get aggravated.
Yes. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
To the point of, like, you have no empathy for me anymore. I don't even know if I want to read your story. Like, you're
that was me
so whiny.
Hardcore in Throne of Glass.
Oh, same.
Like,
to be fair,
any
there was
bad thing that
lot.
happened, I was like, that's what you get for being whiny. And I'm like, that's so mean. 'Cause she got, like, her bell rung.
Yeah.
She went through it.
She did go through it. Yeah. There were some things pre-Throne of Glass that happened that were like, okay, I can understand why you would, like, be like this, but at the same time, it's like, okay, well, figure it out. Problem solve.
I'm like, you're a renowned assassin.
Yeah, figure it out. Anyway, we don't
gonna
need
freak out that your soap's gone. You're an assassin. That's what. If you've read, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm like, that's what bothers you right now. Your soap is gone, ma'am. Anyway, that was not. We got on a tangent. Sorry, y'all.
It's okay.
That
Throne
is
of
a
Glass
bad
sends
one.
us on a tangent. I'm sorry to those of you who love Throne of Glass. We love you. We support you. We love that for you. We did not love Throne of Glass.
There's maybe like 2% of the series I enjoyed. Okay, maybe more than 2. I don't know.
I don't know. We could do a whole episode throwing shade at Throne of Glass, but maybe we should.
Throne of Shade. We could do it. I'm not doing a whole episode of hate.
No,
if you love
I
it,
don't
I'm
wanna
so
do that.
happy for you.
Exactly. We don't want to rain on your parade. I'm so happy that you loved it.
I wish I could have loved it.
Same. Yep. Okay, what's your next one?
Books that have really long epilogues, but like to the point where it could have just been chapters.
Yeah, I'm
like,
with you.
You're just misprinting or something. Like, it just doesn't feel right. Like, this one's not like the biggest deal to me. Like, I'll still give a book a high rating if it does that, but I'm like, if your epilogue, and I'm not kidding, I read an epilogue by Colleen Hoover, it was over 100 pages.
What?
I was like, this is not an epilogue. This is like a 10 years later story.
In some ways, for epilogues, I can understand them being longer. I don't love long prologues.
Me either. And I wanted to put that in here, but I couldn't figure out how to spell prologue in the moment, and I forgot about it. But I do remember, I was thinking specifically of Redeeming Love.
Yeah, same.
Which I love that book, but I almost stopped reading it.
So long.
It's
yeah, like at that point,
like over 100 pages. I'm like, make it part of your story.
That I feel like makes more sense. Like you could make a long prologue into the first chunk of your book way more easily than like an epilogue. Because I feel like when it's the epilogue, you're like, okay, the story is over and this is you catching up with like what happened later, or like it's additional information of like in the future, which I feel like that makes sense for an epilogue. And if it's long, then like it's long. It's just like what happened. I don't know.
I don't care. Like over.
Would you rather
40
it
pages?
be chapters, or would you rather it just not be there?
Chapters.
Okay.
Because like there's been so many I read where like it's 3 months later. I'm like, that could have been a chapter.
Yeah,
there's
that's
no
true.
need to call it an epilogue.
Yeah.
Have it be 60 plus pages.
Yeah.
And literally, especially when it's like almost a continuation of the story.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on. Like, there's no gap in time.
That close to the end, that makes sense. But if it were like a 10 years later kind of situation, I don't think I would want that as chapters in the book. Because I feel like when books do that, because I've read books like that before where it does like go chapters, but the last few chapters are like 10 years later or whatever. I'm like, okay, but this was not necessary to be part of the whole story. Like we should have gone into an epilogue at this point.
And I'm a firm believer, and I know this is like, I'm in the minority for this. I feel like, especially like with the newer like TikTok readers, I appreciate when the author leaves things up for granted.
Same.
This whole new like extended epilogue, this edition has this epilogue, this edition has this epilogue, really gets on my nerves.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
There's something to be said about leaving the book the way it is, having all the copies be that way, and you just having to not know. It's not your business to know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I fully agree. I love when a book leaves me with something to ponder. And if they tie up every single small
I never think of the book again.
Yeah, exactly. I don't remember anything about it anymore.
Like, I'm trying to think, Verity.
Yeah.
That book was published years ago.
Yeah, don't say anything about the epilogue because
I
didn't read it.
No, I'm not. That book was published years ago.
Yeah.
It popped off on TikTok.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah.
She got a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then she came out with this whole exclusive edition that's $30
Jeez.
and had an additional epilogue that was not necessary.
Yeah.
It was perfect the way it ended before.
Yeah. I mean, it is a way for authors to make money on work that they spent a lot of time on.
Yes.
So I understand from that perspective, but at the same time, like you could have just made an exclusive edition.
Put it in your newsletter.
Yeah.
Make a small book.
Yeah, do a novella.
A novella, yes. Not an exclusive edition. That's $30.
Yeah.
That has 10 extra pages.
Yeah.
I don't know. It felt like a cheap grab to me. But the bigger point is we didn't need to know that.
Yeah.
Like, not knowing is what made the book what it was for me.
Yep.
And there's a lot of authors doing that. They're like, oh, they want more. And yes, of course we say we want more.
Right.
But like, I don't actually want more.
Right. I don't want to know what actually happened. I want to have to sit here and ponder it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even remember. That was mine. Okay, so
oh
it's your
yeah,
turn.
that was yours. Okay. My next one is descriptions that insult my intelligence.
I'm so excited for your explanation because I'm...
To clarify, what I mean by this. If you tell me this character was heartbroken because of the death of their brother, you're like, okay, why did you tell me they were I don't need you to tell me that they're heartbroken. If you tell me that their brother died and they're sobbing on the bathroom floor, I can figure out that they're sad.
Gotcha.
You don't need to tell me that they're sad.
Like the over explanation.
They're like, yes. And the same thing with like themes. Like if you blatantly say like this is the theme, which books do, I'm like, why? Let me read between the lines.
Yeah.
Let me figure it out. Like I am smarter than you think I am. And this is like, it happens a lot in young adult, which I completely understand it happening in young adult because
maybe that's why I like it, because I don't want to.
I feel insulted. Like, it's just unnecessary. It's unnecessary to have that much just specific, like, telling, not showing.
Yeah.
And that's what bothers me the most is, like, I don't want you to tell me. I want you to show me. Like, if, for using the, like, heartbroken example, like, don't say that the character is heartbroken. Say that they collapsed onto the floor in a puddle of tears, could not control their sobbing, couldn't catch their breath. Like, give me a description that paints the picture of
heartbroken.
Don't just be like, she was so heartbroken over her brother. Like,
I feel like the first example is just more powerful anyway.
Yeah. Like,
that makes me feel heartbroken.
Correct.
If you say like I'm heartbroken, there's no emotion behind that.
Correct.
If you're like she fell into whatever, like I feel that, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna collapse into a puddle and weep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we're smarter than you think we are.
Maybe not me, just Katie.
You are too.
Thanks. Okay.
You're welcome.
What do we have? Oh, my next one. Insta love.
Ugh. Same.
I think there is this new trend in writing where there's no dialogue happening. And for example, female main character meets male main character. Instant attraction. Okay, I can get behind the instant attraction. 4 chapters later, they've had 5 conversations and they're in love, can't imagine themselves with anyone else. I'm like, where was the talking part? Like, where did they get to know each other to fall in love?
Yeah. Well, I think because the market is so high for spice, it's like...
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter why they're in love. It just matters that they're doing it.
That makes me so sad.
Yeah,
there are some books. It's not every single book.
No, I'm with you. I don't like insta love either. A slow burn is so much better.
Yeah. Like, I just feel more connected to the characters. Mm-hmm. I can't get behind this, like, 3 chapters in and they're, like, in love.
Yeah.
And then the third act breakup happens, like, mid-book. And then the last half of the book is, like, happy ever after. I'm like, the formula doesn't work for me.
Me either. I'm with you.
Yeah.
My next one goes on the theme with romance. It's the word caress. I hate that word so much. So much. I get the ick so bad if I read it.
We could have a whole episode on word icks.
Absolutely.
I didn't even think to tread that water.
Specifically came to my mind because it's the worst. I hate it. And you hear it in, like, it's not just in spice at all. Like, that word is used so much for no reason and it's so uncomfy. I'm like physically...
That's so funny, yeah. Like, if they caress, like
he caressed her brow. Like...
Yeah, ugh. I'm like,
can't do it.
Why though? Like, we're in long-term relationships. I don't think Ryan's ever been like, because that's how if you're watching, I'm so sorry you had to witness that, but that's how I imagine it. Like
I think it's like the thumb. I understand. Yeah, like,
I get it, but like also why would he ever do like why would someone ever do that? Like a tear, but then they say wiped tear and that's fine.
Yeah. I feel like the motion could just be described in a better way.
Valid.
I just
That's
don't
so
like that word. That word gives me the ick.
Pressed.
I hate that word so much.
Yeah. And then put it in spice and I'm like,
Oh, that's even worse.
gay.
It's bad.
Oh, not good.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got one more?
No, that was my last one.
Oh, that was your last one? Oh, you combined your last two.
I didn't really mean to.
Oh, that's okay. Okay, I have one more.
Okay.
My last one is too many POVs.
Yeah.
Also,
I won't say what I'm just thinking.
yeah, I think we're on the same page of what we're thinking.
If it gets too much where I can't keep track of it, forget it.
And I frankly don't care.
That's true. I feel like 3, 4 if it's done well.
Oh, I don't even like that. Unless it is if it's a high fantasy that's happening in more than one place and there's a reason that you need to have that many POVs. Like,
Yeah.
this is happening over here, this is happening over here, this is happening over here, and you need to know that all of these things are happening at the same time. So there's different POVs because of that. That's fine. There is no other reason why you should have more than like 2.
No, you need to write your books as like companion series for the side characters you want to talk about. If you want to talk about all these side characters, like people that really loved your book and want that extra,
They can get the companion. Yeah, they can read the companion series. Yeah. Yeah, there's some cases where it's fine. But the other thing is like randomly switching POVs without explanation.
yeah, I would agree with that.
That one also, I'm like, okay, but why? Like, this is confusing and for what?
Yeah, I will say, like, the way Magnolia Parks did it, like, those books are all happening at the same time.
Yeah.
She wrote them as different books for the characters.
Yep.
I love that.
Me too. That was great because, okay, yeah. What is it? Daisy Hates has 3 POVs because we have Daisy, Christian, and Julian. Blanked on his name for a second. Which makes so much sense. Like, we needed those 3 POVs because they were in different places. It's not fantasy, but they were in different places at different times. There was stuff like with Daisy and Christian, you were getting POVs of the same story, which those are combined, right? Those are like interlocked. But Julian's POV was following a different story that you kind of, I feel like we're going to need going into the next Daisy Hates book. So
For sure. Even towards the end of this one, we needed to know what he was doing.
Exactly.
To kind of understand
But like an unnecessary amount of POVs just makes it confusing and like for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I think that was all of our book icks.
I think so.
Wow. We did it.
Yeah.
This was fun and exciting. You saying hi?
He's so funny.
I know. Okay, well, do you have anything else?
I don't think so. I think that's about does it.
Amazing. Thank you guys so much for joining us for this episode of the Go Read Sis podcast. We hope if you liked this episode, you will like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Give us a rating on Spotify. Share with your friends.
Yes.
Also, follow us and say hey on Instagram, Threads, or TikTok at goread.sis. And please come back next Tuesday for another episode of the Go Read Sis podcast. Bye.
Bye.